Hello and welcome to my knife channel. Well, this is my big box of knives. Big box of traditional folding knives. I have the other size one, the Moo Mix size, but that's a little bit smaller. Those fit like the normal size, normal size folders like this. These are the big ones, the big ones. And of course this guy won't fit in the box. We had to get like industrial prison chocolate mix or something, if they have that. I know they got it in the military. It's big, huge drum, like 55-gallon drum of Moo Mix or something like that. Anyway, in no particular order, we're going to go through and look at all the big ones, just what I like about the particular stuff, particular knife, and some of the new ones. Something interesting with that guy. And yeah, and this one is kind of like pushing the edge of traditional, because a lot of people don't like Delica anymore. It doesn't flip real fast and all that other stuff, but it is just a backlock. Although you do have, like removable handles and FRN. Anyway, I'm going to pull all these out and then we'll get to it. Alright, so I got most of it in the picture. There's some hiding over here. But this guy is really cool. I know I just recently got it. I spent an hour and a half last night sharpening this thing. Because when I first got it out of the box, it wasn't sharp enough to cut paper without it, like kind of like ripping through it, which is annoying. But no fault of it, it's just, you have to do that a lot of times with the grinds. But anyways, I had to put it on the Lansky, because at first I tried to strop it, then I tried to use the crock sticks, and finally I just put the Lansky clamp on there. And I was going to set it to 20 degrees, but I set this one to 25 because it's closer to what it was. It looked like it was originally ground at like 30 or 35 degrees. But anyway, I sharpened that up. And yeah, it's only like 20 bucks. And the handle does kind of show up a little purplish in some parts, but it's well done as far as the jigging. The fit and finish is great. This thing is a great size too. Even without that guard up there, you've got these finger guards here, and if you're even just holding it like this is going to keep it from folding on you. But yeah, it's just a nice clip point Bowie type of shape on it, and the this is not too predominant here, the billboarding. It's got a little tang stamp here. Let me zoom in on this guy. I won't spend too much time on each knife, but I did do an initial impression on this, and after sharpening it, it took a while, because you keep looking at it, and you're looking at the edge, and you're trying to see how this one kind of like shifts. Anyway, I was trying to get it perfect, which is hard to do. This part right here down by the choil, sharpening choil or anything, is usually really badly angled. They'll start straightening up and get it right on the factory grind, and then they usually screw up the tip, at least on one side or the other. One side was ground really well, and then the other side was off by quite a bit. I had to work on the tip quite a bit, but I didn't mind. I sharpened it, But yeah, it's just, it's got a little bit of gapping there, but I mean, 20 bucks, it's not a GEC. But I didn't pay GEC prices for it either. So if you can pick one of these up, they're great. And then the main thing also is to watch out is you can kind of think that this is like a half stop, but it's not. And if you drop the blade back on that, you're going to put a big ding in your hand. Make sure that this is, all the way back out when you go to fold and close it, and you won't have any problem. But if you got that up, you'll get blade wrap. Because at first I looked at it and I went, wow, I got a little blade wrap right here. I wonder what it's hitting. And I couldn't see anything, and then I watched the video. And sure enough, I had set it, probably at an angle about like, this is about the only way it's going to stop, about a half stop, and then closed it on it. So your blade's hitting right there, you know, and coming down pretty hard. And the edge of your knife is the thinnest part of the blade usually. So it's pretty easy to bend. Anyway, I straightened it up, and it's pretty sharp now. Cut something. It's set, like I said, at 25 degrees. Usually I set a knife at like 20 degrees, but I look at the edge too when I'm doing this, and then I also look on here for any paper. Usually the paper will stick to where it's dull. See where it's kind of like had a rough time right there? So I could probably strop that a little bit more, but it's set up pretty well now. It's a great knife, man. It feels perfect in the hand. Fits in the hand real well. This thing doesn't really bother me. My little finger goes around it. Your thumb can rest up here on the finger guard. And yeah, dagger, stabbing. They call it like a camp type of knife or something, you know, when you're going out camping. But all I'm going to do is get a sheath or make a sheath. And yeah, so that's one. It took a long time. Of course, we've seen the big guy, but I really like that one. And then this one is, most of these are going to be Rough Riders. This one came with a nice hard sheath that you can actually stick a ferro rod or something else in with it. It's about like a buck 110 in size, but about half the weight. I don't remember how much this one weighs. Probably got a review on it somewhere back in there. I'll try to link in the description of this video the individual reviews on these knives, but some of them are probably just first impressions, you know. And then of course you've seen the Coke bottle. They're currently out of stock, but watch it, you know. If you're interested in these, just put be on there, email me when it's in list. And sometimes they restock these things and they show up and you think, oh, I got time, I can get them, and then they run out and you don't know if they're going to get them again. And then on the secondary market, these don't sell for $10. They sell for a lot more than that, you know. Some of the secondary market prices on Rough Riders are getting crazy on some things. Oops, sorry, I bumped the thing. But the tortoiseshell, the imitation tortoiseshell, is done very well on that one. Then, of course, we got the big red Whittler sleeve board. It's like the biggest sleeve board one I've got. Oh, I don't have my Rough Rider Reserve Whittler. I put that one in here too. But I can always pause it and get back to it. But yeah, it's got this horseshoe stamp to it. Real good jigging on the bone. Not a bunch of huge gaps. That gap right there. On the better ones, they fill that in, I think. Or they just file it down or let the brass just taper even further. So that, but you know, these are Rough Riders, but it's pretty good. Pretty well done for a traditional. Well, of course, you got, I think, two identical pin type of blades, but they're nice and thin for whittling when you want to get into small places. And then a spay blade, which I guess comes in handy if you want to spay something while you're whittling. Change the sex of your animal. Alright, we got, since we're going with red, we've got this big, it's like a sod buster, but it's a liner lock type of thing. These are designed to go all the way over and still work, you know. So it's not like you look at liner locks on a normal knife, you know, and say, oh, it's got early lockup or whatever. You know, it can go all the way over or even halfway. It still work. But yeah, these are a nice size knife. Much like a GEC 71 pattern. Which I happen to have right here. Let's see, the 71 is a lot smaller. Anywho, yeah, these are nice. Nice little work knife. Let's see. Then this is the Rough Rider. I'll have to put a link to all the numbers and everything. I can't see right now. 440 razor sharp. It's the RR 1845. I'm seeing that through this tiny screen on my phone here. Look at that. Yeah, got it right. I got to remember I'm zoomed in on this stuff. But yeah, it's got some gapping, issues like this. But like I said, it's another one of those liner lock type of things. No half stop, but you don't need one when you've got one like that. It either stops or it doesn't stop at all. Yeah, this is brass patinas. Nice little shield here, inset. No pins, sticking up super high. This one's a little bit high. Could use some filing. But yeah. Then you got the Barlows. This is the High Plains series Barlow. All of them, they don't always have exactly the same blades on them, or same nail nick and stuff like that sometimes. But yeah, when you get these, there's usually a lot of stuff in the fingernail groove here. If you just take a Q-tip with some with some alcohol on it, rub it, you pull it out, it'll be black. You go, whoa. I usually take like a little toothpick knife and I go through and I pull all the grunge first out and then I do the alcohol thing. But anyway, yeah, so they need a little cleaning up sometimes. Nice half stop, but this is a cool pattern. There's little ridges here and then the color in it. The pins are all nice and flush. They only slap one R on one side, so if it offends you that much, you can just turn it away. But yeah, alright, so like I said, with the Barlows, they do pretty much the same pattern, they just put a different scale on it. This one's got the bomb kind of chill on it, nice half stop. Same nail nick and swedge. Let's see what number this guy is. Zoom up. 2120. Wow, 100 years ago. No, it's not the year number, it's just the model number. And then this buffalo horn, man, these are great. Oh, I'm zoomed in again. The ridging on this feels great. You put it in your hand, it's like a knife detector was saying, it's like a worry stone. If you got that in your pocket, you just pick it up, and just feel the texture. Kind of crazy. But yeah, it's nicely done. And it's got this reverse frosting on it. Ram's horn bone. Marbles has got some ram's horn, but they have it green. I like the darker brown color. Let's see what this has on it. Gotta remember I'm zoomed in. It's got the horseshoe. And the guy running from something. He's wanted in many states. State of confusion. All right, what we got here? RR 1595. Yeah, for a while you could get close with the model numbers, be close to the year that they came, but then they started making more of them, and so the last number isn't always the year and stuff, like GECs are. Alright, same black and blue pattern with sunfish, but like I said, man, cool little shape and everything. Locks up well. It's not too hard of a pull. I forget, it hasn't hit me yet, but arthritis affects people, and some people only have use of one arm anyway, so the stronger the pull, that may be cool, but when you've only got one hand, it's not so cool. This is a little bit stronger pull on the Warncliffe here. Nice half stop. Of course, we got the jumbo trapper with the nice long warny there. It's the main reason I got it, but it's got nice jigging on the bone. I like the way they both line up with the nail nicks. And you got that saddle horn type of dip down, recurve. Good skinning blade there. Yeah, that's another good one. A little lanyard thing if you're into lanyards. Or lanyards are into you. And then sunfish, of course, this old sunfish. They're kind of like a big knife. This is one of the older patterns. I was going to mess around with dyeing one of the... I've got a canoe that I dyed blue one time, but then I also, you know, got a blue canoe. God, I don't know if that's a thing. But yeah, this is a cool knife. They didn't do a lot of billboarding. They left it all nice and flat. They didn't put a lot of ridges up here, you know. It just looks like sometimes the simpler you get, see, they didn't put a lot of dimples in there so you can play with your match strike. Strike a match somewhere else, you know. This looks cool with just a normal nail nick here. Normal, probably easier to do too. You just press it in or grind it out. But I don't know. What do I know? Then of course you got the Marbles Jumbo Trapper. All these are usually like jumbo because they fit in that big box down there. But you got your choice of like stabby blades with cutting abilities. These two, you have to switch them around on the. Of course, it's D2 also, but then you got the real skinning blade or curve cut, draw cut. Kind of looks like a duck bill going up or something. Guess ducks' bills are not curved that much. All right, so we've got that and that and that and that, and then of course the number 71 pattern here. I haven't sharpened it or anything. I have stropped it, but I haven't sharpened it. So we're gonna check the edge here. Not bad. It drags a little bit though. I can tell it could use a little sharpening and everything, but yeah, I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna go crazy, you know. I'm not really getting it for the value. It's just like, if it's such a good knife, you hate screwing it up when you've got a choice of so many other knives, you know, that you could just whip out, cut some with. Do a little shaving if you want to. Or a little stabbing. This is not in the jumbo box. I just pulled it off from somewhere. And of course we got this huge guy. Now I just went down and touched the edge up with the bevel. It just went like this on it, and yeah, this is nice. The embossing in here is really deep. It's not just like a little tiny etch or laser etch. It went in there pretty good. Yeah, it's just cool, just like a jumbo knife. And this is like wood, stained wood or something in here. I'll have to get a description of it somewhere. I don't think it's in the Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog or anything. They don't stock them anymore, I believe. But yeah, if you ever get your hands on these, usually on the secondary market, they're going to go for like $39 or something with shipping. Sometimes you can get them for less. But I don't know how many they made. Probably you've only got enough room, so many digits here, unless you shrink your font. So probably less than 1,000 were made. Pretty cool knife. Not totally novelty, you know. You never know when you may need to castrate an elephant. This is the knife for it. What put you in those circumstances where you had to castrate an elephant? We don't want to know about. Alrighty, so yeah. I carry this guy in this, kind of like this, slender side down. Stick it in this. You got to watch out sometimes with leather pouches and stuff, storing stuff in it, because brass and stuff like that, it'll develop a greenish tint. You never know what they used as their dyes. Like these, like people are trying to say, I saw in one thing, a response in a Smoky Mountain Knife Work catalog, video. The guy said that it was made in China, but it says clearly on the label, made in Pakistan. I wish they'd use Mexican leather, man, because I'm right here in Texas, and man, they can make some good saddle leather and stuff like this. This is all right. This is pretty good for the price you're paying. You know, and GEC deserves better. I think they sell them, you know, it's all embossed and dark leather. It says GEC, they're like 18 or something bucks, but yeah, I've got another GEC coming in. It's just in the mail, floating around somewhere. Just floating. You gotta have your halo above you. Yeah, it's not always priced. Like I said, I enjoy the hell out of this thing. It was only $20. I mean, this is a fun knife. I think it's functional too. I was out, chopping down trees or messing around out, worried about a bear attack. Big bar will come after you. Yeah. 5-inch blade. Yep, I could see making some kind of like specialized sheath for this, but anyway, I've gone too long. 20 minutes. Jeez. Well, I don't care. Keep going. So yeah, the Endura. This is where it's kind of cross the line, because I thought about throwing in the Cold Steel Recon 1 and stuff, but we're getting past traditional, and I don't keep this one in this box with these guys, so they don't have to be segregated like that, but I just like to keep them somewhat organized, like, because they fit. They fit in the box. So there you go. There's your... It's one-handed opening, I guess, but it's a hole, I think if they could have gotten away with a hole back in the day, they would have done it, Instead of this nail nick stuff, they go, oh, look, man, it's a lot easier if you just open it up with a hole. No. Anyways, yeah, this one I didn't carry quite as much as the Delica, but it has a nice long blade. But yeah, you're crossing the line with newer steels and stuff like that. I think the best borderline stuff is the Marbles D2, because it still keeps the traditional look, but you've got micarta and upgraded steels. If you start getting bizarre, start adding pocket clips and a lot of other stuff, then you're starting to cross the line from traditional and more into what they call like modern traditional, which could be anything. You could claim anything a modern traditional, because they all evolved from traditional knives. But anywho, yeah, I think this is a good way to go for something like Marbles or Rough Rider. Is don't worry, keep using the pins. Don't worry about making the scales removable or whatever, and stick with the traditional patterns. Like they've got a lot of patterns they could do easily. Doctor's knife, Camp King in this. All kinds of shit that they could do, but I never get around to. Anyway, yeah, I'll drag this along too long, so just wanted to say, any knife can make you happy. Just getting some knives in every once in a while makes me happy. And every once in a while you run into some that's like, wow, this I enjoyed a lot more than I expected. I looked at it like, kind of gimmicky, finger guard, But it works. Works fine. And then this, you can fold it, but I mean, it's got a good half stop, like I said. I usually fold it if I think I'm going to, be carrying around. But it gives you extra. Already sticks way beyond my hand anyway. Yeah. Marbles. There you go. So, for those of you that are still awake, thank you for watching, and it's my first video of 2021. Said goodbye last night to 2020 by drinking a Corona beer. It took me an hour and a half to drink that beer. That's such an alcoholic I am. I sat there sipping it every once in a while. But yeah, if you're gonna get rid of any year at all, 2020 was a good one to say goodbye. Not necessarily that 2021 is going to be super better, but it's, geez, it's a pretty hard act to follow as far as like disasters and stuff. Anywho, I've rambled on too long. I feel tag along biting me in the butt. Hey, when are you going to shut up? Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.